So in case you don't know me, I am Janelle Summers, and while I was in the corporate world, I was also in fitness. So for about 20 years, I was a fitness instructor and personal trainer while I was working my full-time job. So it's always been my passion ever since I was like 14 years old. I've been studying how to get more fit and how to eat better. And honestly, when I first started at 14, I didn't know how to lose the weight, so I just stopped eating, which is, I think, unfortunately what a lot of teens do, which is so sad. That reminds me, I did a speech for a bunch of 8th grade girls. It was an auditorium of hundreds of 7th and 8th grade girls about eating habits, because that's the age I was when I realized I needed to lose weight and I didn't know how. And so important that you talk to your kids about this. So anyways, I've been studying it for a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my very first rule. And again, these are just like most of the time. When it's like a special occasion, there are times when it's just okay to just throw all the rules out the window, right? You just have to be conscious of what you're eating. When it gets dangerous is, number one, when you completely let go of yourself and you just don't care anymore and you have no rules and you have no plan. That's when it's dangerous, right? And the other time is when you have so many rules that you can't maintain what you're doing. You cannot maintain it for a lifestyle. So then why do it? You know what I mean? There are times where maybe you want to lose a bunch of weight for an event or something in particular, you have goals. I'm not saying don't have goals and don't reach high, but just really be smart. Like, is this something I can sustain long term, right? Because that's how I try and approach it. You know, I'm not trying to be a figure competitor, and I have so much respect for what they do. You just have to decide, what are your goals? If you're trying to be a figure competitor, obviously you have to be much more strict, and the things that you're going to have to do for that competition are not going to be sustainable for life, but that's okay, because your goal is to be on that stage and to win that contest. So that's different. That's your goal, right? So you have to figure out what are your goals and what makes sense for you to do, right? And so I'm going to go through, and it's actually, I think I came up with 12 rules. And by the way, in case I don't remember to say it later, if you want to know what I eat, it's in my Foodspiration ebook, which is on janellesummers.com, and it's free. It just shows you all the things that I normally eat for breakfast, for lunch, for snacks, for desserts, for my protein shakes, my Shakeologies, all that kind of stuff is in that free ebook, and it's Janelle Summers, J-E. A lot of people do J-A. It's J-E-N-E-L-L-E. So there's 3 E's, right? There's no A's. janellesummers.com. Okay, so first rule is that for every meal that I eat, small meal or big meal, I usually make sure that I have at least 20 to 30 grams of protein in the meal. Now that's because I am someone, again, this depends on your goals, I'm trying to gain muscle. I'm lifting, I'm always trying to get stronger, because as we age, if we're not always trying to get stronger, we will lose muscle. That's what happens when you age. You lose muscle. And what happens when you lose muscle? Your metabolism slows down. Your fat-burning metabolism slows down. And not to mention a slew of other bad things that'll happen. But you have to be constantly getting stronger to fight that aging process and that process of your metabolism slowing down. So I'm always trying to get stronger and increase my fitness as I get older. And so 20 to 30 grams of protein at every meal. Now, I eat about 4 to 5 or 6 small meals a day. Now, I say meals, it doesn't mean it's like officially looks like a meal. You know what I mean? Like, it might not officially look like a meal, but it's, maybe it's my Shakeology, or it's 4 to 6 times, usually about 5 times a day, where I'm eating something that's between like 300 and 500 calories, and it's got like 20 to 30 grams of protein. And so that's just something that always sticks in my head. Like if my husband and I are, going out to eat or something, and I see this great salad that I want, and it doesn't have any kind of protein in it, I'll be like, oh, I need to ask if they can add some grilled chicken to that, because I know I need to have that protein, right? So just one rule of thumb. And also, it helps fill me up. Keeps you more satisfied when you've got that protein. Number 2, I don't buy bags or boxes of snack foods that are going to tempt me. you're probably thinking, duh, right? But I see it all the time where people are, they know that this bag of tortilla chips or this bag of whatever, bag of pretzels or this certain cereal, they know they love it and they know that it's that weakness and they know that when they're bored, tired, sad, that they're going to turn to that bag or that box, right? And yet you continue to buy it. You can't buy it. And so maybe you need to have a discussion with your family. Maybe it's something you need to hide. Don't get me wrong. We have in our house, a bag of this or a box of that. But if it's something that would tempt me, it's out of sight. It is out of sight. And Matt and Tyler clearly know, look, I can't have that in sight. I'm just telling you, I will demolish it because not everyone's like this. My husband's not like this. I'm like this. If I see something and I like it, I will mindlessly eat it while I'm working or whatever, and I'll finish the whole bag. No problem, right? So I don't buy food in bags or boxes. Or if it's something that's healthy and I really do want to buy it, I'll pre-portion it. For example, almonds. I didn't used to like almonds. I like almonds now, and I can eat them endlessly. And if I don't pre-portion those out, I can easily have 400 calories worth of almonds in a sitting. Okay, and that doesn't feel like a meal, and I don't want to have a meal of almonds, right? It's just meant to be a snack. So that's something that I pre-portion. And so as soon as I come home from the grocery store, anything that I know needs to be pre-portioned, I pre-portion it. Now, even when you're eating healthy foods, anytime you are exceeding what your body needs, either what your body needs to maintain itself or what your body needs to lose weight, if you're exceeding that, it will be stored as fat whether it was healthy or not. So it doesn't matter how healthy, raw, organic, whatever that food is, if it makes you exceed what your body actually needs, it'll be stored as fat. Okay, so you might as well have eaten, a candy bar or something like that, right? Well, not really, but almost. So you really have to pre-portion those things and think about it that way. I know there are certain healthy fats that I absolutely love, and so I have to watch. Hummus. Love hummus. I love avocado. Love avocado. I love almonds, and I can have a snack of almonds, and then I might have a Kind bar, and it's you really have to gauge all this stuff. So again, number 2 is don't buy bags or boxes of foods that are going to tempt you, even if they're healthy, and if you must, and if they are healthy, then pre-portion them, right? Okay, number 3, double-digit protein and single-digit sugar. That's just a quick thing that you can look at on food labels when you're grocery shopping, just a quick gauge. It drives my husband nuts when we grocery shop because, yes, and that is about 10 to 15 almonds is usually about 100 calories. I think, if you're doing flavored almonds, which are really popular right now, it's 28 almonds makes 150 calories. So I think around 20-ish almonds is 100 calories for those of you that do the flavored almonds. But back to what I was saying, double-digit protein and single-digit sugars, okay? So I'm always, analyzing labels when we grocery shop. I'm looking at the ingredients, I'm looking at the protein, I'm looking at the carbs, I'm looking at the sodium because I don't want to feel, bloated and, be retaining water and all that stuff. So it's always a give and take a little bit. Sometimes you're I'll go a little bit higher on that sodium because I really love that. And then I'll go a little bit lower on this and higher on that, so it's all a balancing act, right? But double-digit protein, single-digit sugar. A lot of people will be eating healthy things and they just don't look at the sugar grams. I mean, I was just at, Matt and I made, as part of our date day, we did Trader Joe's and Whole Foods because it's not near us. So we have to make a trip into Michigan. And so part of our date day, we always go there and stock up on stuff. But the funny thing is there's so many things in Whole Foods and Trader Joe's that will make you gain weight if you're not really looking at the labels. Hi, Jennifer from New Jersey. High sugar, some of these things. Healthy, yes, but you really have to look at the sugar grams in some of this stuff and carbs. Number 4, don't eat carbs late in the evening. Right? So I try to just, after I've had my dinner, that's it for the night. And usually I will have a snack, and this is just me, but in the evening when I feel like munching on something, I will just we have these 100-calorie bags of Skinny Pop. And that's kind of my go-to if I feel like that, I need to have something. So I do that. That's just me. Or they've got the Trader Joe kettle corn, which is really good, the light kettle corn. But staying away from carbs in the evening. Now, it's not like that's going to kill you, but here's the thing for me. If I have something kind of carb heavy in the evening, or I splurge on something, let's say I decide it's worth it, the only problem is then suddenly I can't stop eating. I don't know if you've ever done that. Like had a little, oh, I'll just have a little bit of this or a little bit of that. And that won't kill me, right? It's just one bite, or it's just a little bowl, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I'm suddenly starving for all the sweets and carbs in the house, right? Because it just spurs on more cravings. So because I know that, because I've dealt with that for so many years, I just really avoid going there. I distract myself. I, obviously go spend time with Matt and Tyler. I'll look on social media, just distract. Go to a magazine, whatever, distract. Get yourself out of the kitchen, distract. Skinny Pop, what is Skinny Pop? I don't know if they sell in all areas, but in our grocery store, they all sell 100-calorie bags of Skinny Pop. It's just popcorn, and it's, non-GMO and all that stuff. Google Skinny Pop. You'll see. You can get it on Amazon too. Okay, so number 5, I don't drink pop or soda. I used to, years ago, I used to drink Diet Coke all the time. I think I gave up Diet Coke, gosh, I want to say it was when I was pregnant with Tyler, so that's been 12 years. Now, once in a great while, I'll have it when we're out to eat, but it's just something that we just don't buy anymore. But for those of you who are drinking pop on a regular basis, and especially when it's not diet, to be honest, and diet's just as bad, but the regular stuff really can put the pounds on. I had a challenge group member who just had, she just lost 12 pounds in 21 days for giving up pop. 12 pounds in 21 days for giving up her pop. Okay, and someone asked if they can do casein at night. That's up to you. I don't do casein. It's one of those things that's kind of been linked to cancer. And, I'm not a scientist. I don't know if these studies are right. But if I see a lot of studies on something, I kind of, I stay away from it. I don't feel like I need it. So I figure I might as well do without that. Now, a lot of people, a lot of figure competitors and bodybuilders, they do have their casein at night. I'm not judging anyone, and maybe they've done more research than I have. I don't feel like I need it, so I have not been doing that. What about a sweet, healthy snack other than fruit? Yes, you can have a sweet, healthy snack other than fruit at night. The Trader Joe kettle corn is sweet. Like I said, though, anytime you have something sweet, even if it's sugar-free, like let's say it's a Quest bar, if it has sweeteners in it, like sucralose or something like that, it tells your body you need calories. So you tend to crave more things. If you find that you don't, then go for it, right? I just do. If I get started on something, I tend to keep going and not stop. But that's me, I'm an eater. I have a big appetite, okay? Love food. Okay, number 6. If it's hard to stick to one serving and you've noticed that, stop buying it. Stop buying it. Put your foot down, stop buying it. I did this with peanut butter. A couple years ago, I decided that peanut butter was just going to kind of be on my occasional list, not daily. Because I was realizing, when I started being honest with myself, I was probably having at least 4 tablespoons a day. It's a lot. That's a lot of calories and way more fat than my body needs. There's nothing wrong with peanut butter, so please don't be like, peanut butter is so good for you. Of course it is. I'm just saying if you have an addiction and it's a problem, then you might need to stop buying it for a little bit. Now, I still do peanut butter. I just don't do it as often. I just do it once in a while. And, of course, my son has his peanut butter. My husband has his peanut butter. And we buy, the all-natural peanut butter. But I just don't, I'm not in the habit now of having it every single day because I couldn't do it in moderation. If you can't do it in moderation and you know you're always having more than one serving, then stop buying it for a little bit or put it out of access, out of view. Now, someone asked about PB2. I love what's called Just Great Stuff. It's just like PB2, except it's organic. You can get that on Amazon. It's called Just Great Stuff. And I mix that with water, and it's really good. I put it on Ezekiel, English muffin, and I also use it for my shakes. Because when I'm having a protein shake, if it's post-lifting, you don't want to add fat to muscle building protein, because that muscle building protein needs to get your muscles ASAP, and fat can slow it down. So the fat in real peanut butter can slow it down. So for Just Great Stuff, I add that into my post-lifting shake so that I have that peanut buttery taste without the fat that'll slow down the whey from getting to, or I say whey, but it could be vegan protein, muscle building protein, right? Yes. So next, moving right along. Okay. Number 7, I don't eat fast food anymore. Not that I really had a big problem with it, but I certainly, when I was working full time and building my business and, having a toddler, and oh my gosh, life was stressful. And I know that's where some of you are right now. And I did sometimes turn to fast food, and I'd usually pick the healthy options. I was never the girl going for a Whopper. I was going for the grilled chicken sandwich or whatever, but I don't do that anymore. I don't want to tempt myself with, the fries or whatever else there. Now there are, if you absolutely have to, there are some healthy options at some of the fast food restaurants, and that'll probably be another Periscope. But this leads me to number 8, which is don't leave home without healthy snacks. So I'm kind of obsessed with not being hungry. I hate being hungry. I hate being hangry. Speaking of hangry, have you guys watched my brother-in-law, Brett Johnson, on The Hangry Chef? He is hilarious. You got to watch that. Shalene, my sister, her husband, Brett Johnson, is doing a 30-day, I think he's still doing it, recipes. Awesome. Such a funny show. Anyway, I digress. So don't leave home without healthy snacks. So even when Matt and I are just leaving the house, let's say we're dropping Tyler off for football practice or something, and we know we're going to be back in like 20 minutes, I'll grab, something and put it in my purse, because I'm just always afraid I'm going to get in a situation where I haven't eaten in a couple hours and I'm starving. And that's where I make bad choices. When I'm hungry, I make bad choices. So, make sure that, when you're traveling, whether you're going to go an hour away or you're going to go 20 minutes away or whatever, that you have something in your purse that is not so tempting that you're going to eat it immediately, even though you're not hungry, but it's there in case you get hungry. So I'll leave the raw almonds, in my car, because it's something where it's not so exciting that I'm just going to randomly eat them for no reason. But if I get hungry, they're going to satisfy me. Can I address fresh fruit and that sugar, please? I just kind of keep fruit to a minimum. I have usually an apple a day, and I have a half a banana in my Shakeologies, and that's always post-workout when your body needs the glycogen restored. And then an apple obviously is great for fiber, but other than that, the only other fruit I once in a while have are berries, raspberries usually, with a little bit of stevia sprinkled on top, because again, you do have to watch your sugar intake, and fruit obviously has a lot of sugar, so I definitely do fruit. I don't do a ton. I just do, it ends up being probably about 2 servings plus my Shakeology, and Shakeology has 3 to 4 servings of fruits and vegetables, so it's about 1 to 2 servings extra of fruit in that Shakeology. So I do get my recommended fruits. Hey, I see hearts. I just noticed that. Thank you, guys. Okay, so yes, I do chocolate. Someone just said something about chocolate. Yes, I do dark chocolate. Again, if I've got Ghirardelli squares, that's great because those are pre-portioned. But also Trader Joe's, I get the dark chocolate there, and I break those up into little portions so that I don't just eat the whole bar in one sitting, which is what I would do. Number 9. Yes, number 9. Drink water and a snack before going out to eat or to a get-together so that you're not arriving there starving. Don't be that person, and I've done this, where you're like, they'll have food there. I'll just get something to eat there. They'll have food there. Well, yeah, but it's probably not going to be what you would normally choose, and it's probably going to be high carb, high sugar. You're going to maybe have a drink. That's going to cause you to want to eat more, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm totally off track, right? So have a snack. Don't go hungry out to eat or even out to a get-together. Number 9, drink. Oh, I already said that. Number 10, ballpark calories, so that you know you're getting enough, but at the same time, not too much. That's all I do. I don't count every calorie. I could never tell you exactly how many calories I had yesterday or the day before or anything like that, but I ballpark things, okay? If you're someone that really, really needs to dial in and you're not getting results and you really need to dial into your nutrition, then I do recommend that you count your calories and macros for a week or two to see what you're doing, because that will help you pinpoint, you can analyze your own habits, and you can pinpoint where you're way off to find out what your calorie needs are and what your macronutrient needs are for your age, your activity level, your height, your weight. It's all specific to that. To find that out, you can go to freedieting.com, and you go to the left-hand side where it says calculators, and you do daily calorie needs, and you enter in all your information, and it'll say, here's what you need to maintain your weight. Here's about, and it's just an estimate, here's about what you would need to lose weight, okay, about 1 pound a week, which is healthy. And then you can click on macronutrient needs, and it'll break it down to say, okay, you need 125 grams of protein per day based on this. So it breaks it down for you, and it's a really good ballpark. So I just kind of ballpark throughout the day about where I am. Every now and then I'll just kind of think, oh, okay, ate that, and then ate that, and then ate that. Okay, yeah, no wonder I'm hungry. I haven't had enough to eat, and I'll go eat some more, right? Because sometimes you just don't know. There are some things that'll fill you up, and it was like 50 calories, and then you know you're just off, and then you realize an hour later you're hungry again. You're like, why am I hungry again? Oh, because I didn't eat enough. And then other times you're like, you know, why do I not feel hungry right now? Oh, because I ate way too much already. And sometimes you just don't realize because you were grabbing things, you know? Okay, so ballpark calories. And someone actually, I saw in here, someone asked, what are macronutrients? Macronutrients are your proteins, your carbs, and your fats. That's what macronutrients are. Okay, so number 11, don't diet down or take on any new restrictive habits that will cause you to binge or that you just can't sustain. You know, if your goals are to be able to continually year after year after year as you age, get more fit, get stronger, get healthier, have better habits. Because guys, it's not just about, you know, losing weight or having great abs. It's about your health. It's about, you know, avoiding illnesses. It's about avoiding injuries. It's about avoiding cancer. It's about, you know, living your life to your fullest and knowing that you're doing your best, right? Okay, so don't diet down or take on any new restrictive habits that you can't realistically maintain. Number 12, and this is last, follow your lifting workouts with muscle building protein. Okay, so that is one thing that I have done for definitely the last several years, really probably since Shakeology came out, because I didn't used to be a shake drinker at all. But post lifting, you have to have, or I should say have to. It is recommended, it is effective for you to have muscle building protein within 30 minutes of a strength training routine. So that, because when you do an intense strength training routine, you've got these little micro tears that occur in your muscles, and so your body needs that protein within 30 minutes ideally, and you don't want to add fat to that muscle building protein because that'll slow down the muscle building protein from getting to your muscles. What was number 11? Number 11 was don't diet down. Diet down, it's like, you know, doing some crazy crash diet that cause you to take on such restrictive habits that when you finish, you just want to binge for like days. Or you just know that this is nothing that you can maintain. It'll leave you feeling defeated, and it'll leave you in this roller coaster cycle. So that is it. Any questions? Awesome tips. Carb intake. I don't know if you missed when we were saying that, you know, if you want to find out what your carb intake should be, you can go to freedieting.com. To the left, click on calorie needs. You enter your data. It tells you what you would need for, how many calories you would need for weight loss. And then you click on macronutrient needs, and it'll tell you how many protein, carbs, and fat grams you would need to eat to hit that goal. Thanks, you guys. Favorite Shakeology recipe? It's peanut butter banana, and of course when I say peanut butter, it's using the Just Great Stuff powder and half a banana and almond milk and ice, and I use vanilla Shakeology, and I use a scoop of the Power Greens, which is kale and spinach. The Power Greens that Beachbody has, the Shakeology Boost. Okay, when do I drink my Shakeology? Well, now that they have the chocolate chill recovery, I do that after my lifting, and so my Shakeology is usually a meal in the afternoon or in the evening because it just helps me with my cravings. I love Shakeology for that reason. I mean, obviously it's superfoods, but I love it that it does help me with my cravings. It makes me feel full. All right, so I've got to go, guys. Any other questions? Ideas for protein post-workout? Yep, I mean, the one that I use, I absolutely love. It's got BCAAs and it's got the 20 grams protein, and that is Beachbody's Chocolate Chill Recovery. You need to try the Green Boost. I love the Green Boost. I love it that it turns my shake all green. I use the vanilla Shakeology, and I use a little bit of stevia to sweeten it up, and I do the Green Power Boost, which is spinach and kale. Do I do any cleanses? I don't, but the only cleanse I've ever done in my life that I felt like I could do because it's a non-starvation cleanse is the 3-day refresh. And I did like that. I don't do it to like lose fat because I know it's 3 days. You're mainly going to lose water weight. I do it to restart my habits after a weekend of, I had taken a girl trip with my sister and all of us, so much fun, and we ate way too much and had way too much fun, and so I was like, I need to do a 3-day refresh, and it was a great cleanse at that time and for that purpose. So I will repeat the 13 or 12 tips on my Facebook tonight. So Janelle's facebook.com/Janelle Summers. Again, Janelle's JENELLE. It's all E's, no A's. So facebook.com/Janelle Summers. That's my fitness/like page. And I'll repeat that in a post probably tonight. And again, if you want to know like the kinds of foods I eat, that's on JanelleSummers.com. And you can get my Foodspiration ebook. It's a free ebook. Just enter your email and it'll pop right over to you. All right. Thanks so much for getting on.